So let's see. Let's begin by talking about Black Butler Part 1, or Season 1, Part 1. I watched that this week, all of it, and it was actually pretty entertaining. Probably right about where it's rated on various sites, I guess. Basically, I walked into that one expecting to watch an anime that's probably more tuned to a female audience, and it really wasn't that tuned to it. I mean, usually there would be a whole lot more yaoi undertones, I think, to something like this, but I thought this one barely dealt with that at all. Instead, tried to keep the characters themselves amusing while mixing in a very interesting mysticism, magical undertone to it. It's I don't know if those are the exact words I'm looking for, but basically the way it all mixed together, I thought it was presented pretty well. And I really do like the personalities of the various characters. Not quite sure what else to say about that, or say about it without spoiling. So, moving on, I also watched the Final Fantasy VII Last Order OVA that comes on the Final Fantasy Advent Children DVDs. Specifically the limited edition version, or the 2-disc special edition, whichever they called it. Anyway, I watched it. I thought it was a good nostalgic trip into Final Fantasy VII stuff, since it's been such a long time since I played the story. I think there were a couple of things about it that I questioned, but for the most part, it seemed pretty interesting. The way it showed some of those important parts from Final Fantasy VII. I'm not quite sure what else to say about it other than that, because it was a pretty short one OVA thing. So if you like Final Fantasy VII, even if it was just only the original game, then you might actually like the Last Order OVA, because it definitely doesn't feel like trying to expand the universe so much as trying to expand this one part of that story. Otherwise, all the other anime I've been watching is Pokemon. Basically, I finished watching all of Pokemon Season 3, which I guess wasn't all that much from where I left y'all, because that was just DVDs 48, 49, and 50. And like I said, I was going to go from there and move on to Black Butler and stuff out other than Pokemon, but Season 3 felt like it was ending at a place where I felt I was enjoying it and could continue watching. And Season 4 started with the gym leader Whitney, and because of that, I just kept watching through Season 4 until I finished it tonight, just so that I could talk about all of it. Basically, the reason the Whitney part was so compelling is because in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, she seems like a spoiled, whiny person to me. I mean, she's the only gym leader who bursts into tears when you beat her, and she won't respond to you and give you your gym badge, and there was nothing respectful about her. Whereas in the anime, she was not only completely the opposite of that, she was just the most helpful gym leader ever, I think. Other than Brock, who has been traveling with them the whole time, of course. And I would say Misty, except that Brock is clearly superior to Misty in terms of the ability to help out, because he takes care of so much stuff. Oh well. Anyways, going through Season 4, it's at this point that I'm beginning to feel repetitiveness to it, but I can make do because I've been playing a lot of Minecraft. And it basically means, follow the gist of the episode, maybe not latching onto every single word, but latching to every single pun, since that's one aspect of it I like. Oh, here comes Team Rocket. What's the pun they're going to say this time? Yay! Back to digging. Kind of like that, except more of a just shifting focus sort of thing. Anyways, one very interesting thing is that Jessie got her Wobbuffet, and I think Wobbuffet has been kind of the funniest Pokemon. Kind of like the most personality. Maybe second to Meowth, who you don't really consider to have personality because he's just so much of a main character, because, he just walks, talks, and whatnot. And you sometimes forget, oh, he's a Pokemon that speaks human. But the Wobbuffet just has a lot of personality to it. I mean, It's sort of the same thing with all the Team Rocket Pokemon, where they all have their annoying little things where like Victory Bell will always come out and try and eat James and whatnot. But Wobbuffet, it's something of an attention whore, a patient attention whore, I guess. I don't know what exactly it is, but I've been highly amused by it, so I continue to watch season 4. I finished that, and because season 5 is right there, and season 5 is this big important thing I've been wanting to finish, I'm at least going to do that. But I wouldn't be surprised if I keep at it and to try and catch up on Pokemon stuff before season 12 starts coming out on DVD, which I guess is in March, and movie 12 comes out in February. I might not be remembering that right. Anyways, so my anime analysis stuff may not continue to be interesting, especially since um, if I do stop watching Pokemon to watch something else, there's somewhat of a high chance it's going to be Camphor, because I'm really curious why it's been given such a low score. I'd like to be able to watch it and explain why that is. And I know y'all can probably tell me easily, but so sometimes it's about exploring on your own, and sometimes, maybe my really weird preferences will make it where I actually enjoy it for God knows why. Oh well. So, that would be this week's anime analysis.